Because I don't think Crawford's going to put him away, and I think Canelo's a much better mover than people give him credit for. And I think Crawford will be hit more and hit harder than he's ever been hit before, but I don't think he'll go out or down.
Consistent with Terence Crawford's fight schedule over the last several years, where he's been pretty much fighting one time a year. That one time a year has clearly given him a lot of time to rest and recover from his injuries.
Boxing experts are noticing a striking weakness in Terence Crawford's latest training footage. Gareth shared that though he initially believed Crawford could conquer Canelo Alvarez, his perspective has evolved. As the fight draws near, he now tilts toward Canelo, sensing Crawford will endure strikes unlike anything he has faced before. This shift underscores the rising uncertainty surrounding Crawford's capacity to withstand Canelo's might and endure at the pinnacle of the sport.
Early on, very close rounds in the first 3 or 4. We'll be divided on who's winning. I think Canelo will get going in the second third of the fight and land some big shots. I think Crawford will look good as well. Rounds 6 to 9, we'll be looking at who's getting ascendancy in the fight. Crawford will have weathered the storm of the big Canelo punches, countered himself, still close rounds. I think Canelo will push away and, in my view, will win the fight. Because I don't think Crawford's going to put him away, and I think Canelo's a much better mover than people give him credit for, and I think Crawford will be hit more and hit harder than he's ever been hit before, but I don't think he'll go out or down, and if he does go down, he'll get up. I think it'll be a very, very close affair, and I think even if in those last 6 rounds Crawford's got Canelo's number in terms of movement and timing, I still think if it's very close in rounds, I think it'll either be a draw or a narrow points decision for Saul Canelo Alvarez that everybody feels is very controversial, and then they'll do it again. That's how I see it playing. That's the plot, if you like, with the subplots in the drama of one of the biggest fights we've seen in Vegas.
Gennady Golovkin's trainer has offered sharp prediction that Terence Crawford might struggle to keep his stamina at the higher weight class. He warns that Crawford could start to falter as early as the 4th round. The primary reason lies in the sudden change in body size and the added muscle, which could slow him down. Since Crawford has never stepped into the ring at this exact weight, the trainer insists that the adjustments are enormous. Carrying extra weight can make even the most talented fighter feel heavy, sap energy quickly, and spark early frustration. If Crawford fails to manage his pace in these conditions, he risks burning out before the fight reaches the middle rounds.
Triple G's former trainer said that Crawford's gonna be quick in the first 4 rounds, but once Canelo figures him out and actually starts hitting Terence Crawford, in which Sanchez described as, quote, like a huge truck hitting him, it'll be game over for Terence Crawford. He explained that Crawford may not have the legs for someone like Canelo in the 168-pound division. Sanchez also added that if Canelo was eventually going to be Crawford's endgame, then Crawford should have jumped weight divisions a while back. Now, Crawford could have technically done that after the Spence fight. However, his once-a-year fight schedule prevented that from happening.
Reports are circulating that Terence Crawford may have developed a shoulder issue in the midst of his preparations for the Canelo Alvarez fight. While nothing official has been confirmed, the very possibility has sparked concern among analysts and fans alike. This situation is particularly worrying because Crawford's career has usually followed a measured rhythm, with only 1 or 2 fights each year. That pace allowed him to rest, recover, and step into the ring at peak strength. This quick turnaround has denied him that comfort, meaning any lingering pain could follow him into fight night. A shoulder injury is far from trivial in boxing. Almost every element of a fighter's craft, from snapping fast, precise punches to defending shots and controlling distance, depends on healthy shoulders. Even a minor strain could slow Crawford's power punches, making it harder to earn Canelo's respect. Beyond the physical toll, Such a setback could also cloud him mentally, causing hesitation in critical exchanges. Against a seasoned, heavy-hitting opponent like Canelo Alvarez, any doubt can be costly. If the injury is real, Crawford faces a steep climb. Stepping into the ring without full health against a fighter of Canelo's caliber leaves almost no margin for error. What was already a daring challenge could turn even more perilous if Crawford cannot fully rely on his shoulders for speed, strength, and defensive reflexes.
Solitary training camp and in every single solitary fight, a guy that is as old as Terence Crawford, 37, 38 years old, is going to have some type of injuries. They're going to have some type of old nagging type of stuff, especially a guy that works as ridiculously hard as Terence Crawford does. That was just a matter of time before wear and tear is going to start going and things are going to start popping off and going wrong, right? Also, you can tell that the reason that this is kind of consistent with Terence Crawford's fight schedule over the last several years, where he's been pretty much fighting one time a year. That one time a year is clearly giving him a lot of time to rest and recover from his injuries and gives his body time to heal up. And as a result, he's ready to go during fight time. So I wouldn't put too much on this. I would say though that if you're a gambling person, man, you should probably want to keep your money in your pocket for this particular fight, man, because this thing can absolutely positively go either way with between the two of these guys. Canelo Alvarez is an exceptional fighter, much bigger than Terence Crawford is, or been fighting at a much bigger weight class than Terence Crawford has been fighting at, and much more experienced at that level at 168 pounds. But Terence Crawford is just such a superb fighter and such an intelligent fighter in there that you can know that he's going to be coming there to fight, and he's got a significant chance to win that fight. Unless, of course, that injury is real. I mean, and it is significant and is preventing him from, really sitting down on his punches, because he's going to have to at a point in time with Canelo Alvarez is going to have to do something to get him up off of him.
Keith Thurman has shared a grounded perspective on the upcoming showdown. He noted that Canelo Alvarez, though not undefeated, remains an incredibly dangerous adversary. Thurman explained that every boxer has weaknesses, yet that doesn't mean anyone can easily exploit them. He highlighted that Canelo's experience, skill set, and toughness make him a fighter who should never be underestimated. Losses in boxing don't always define a career, and for Canelo, they have only shaped him into a more complete competitor. Thurman stressed that the notion of Canelo being beatable doesn't automatically guarantee Crawford's victory, as Crawford must elevate his game to a level he has never shown before against someone of Canelo's size and storied pedigree.
An unbeatable fighter. That's fine. None of us are really unbeatable, right? But people got to understand this. Mm-hmm. Canelo Alvarez is not an unbeatable fighter. The question is, whoever he's fighting, we don't question what Canelo's going to do, right? We question what his opponents are going to do, right? It's not even really about Canelo. Canelo's going to show up as Canelo Alvarez, right? Ginger boy. So the question is, are you going to beat him? And are you going to beat him today? Like when fight night happens, is it you and is it now? You ready to beat him now? He's not unbeatable. Maybe you can beat him, but are you going to do it? And are you going to do it now? You feel me? Because I thought Danny Jacobs was going to have a way better performance.
Danny actually performed well against Canelo, but he didn't take any chances. He was doing just enough to not get beaten.
And Canelo was feeling himself. Canelo had preparation. He had that head movement, losing to Floyd, this and that. He fought some flat-footed fighters. He got used to getting his head here and there and ducking down and then pulling out and spinning out and little tactics. I've never seen somebody make Danny Jacobs miss so many punches. It was highly impressive. I did not expect that, because the amateur pedigree growing up with Danny Jacobs, I know exactly what kind of New York fighter he is.
Recent footage of the face-off between Crawford and Canelo has captured widespread attention. Surprisingly, Crawford looked larger than expected, standing almost eye-to-eye with Canelo in sheer size. This is unusual because Canelo has long been known for his powerful, stocky build at higher weight classes. The visual impact of Crawford's size has sparked questions about how effectively he has added muscle. While some interpret this as a promising sign that Crawford has successfully bulked up, others caution that size alone doesn't guarantee strength or stamina. The real challenge is whether he can carry that extra weight naturally inside the ring without losing speed. Looking bigger may intimidate, but the true test will be how his body holds up over 12 intense rounds.
With that said, they're going to face off in an epic showdown. And the big talk, obviously, is the size difference, right? That Canelo Alvarez is much bigger than the smaller Terence Bud Crawford, who is essentially coming up from 147 in the minds of many. But really and truly, he's coming up from 154 because he actually had a fight at 154, a titled opportunity, his only fight at 154 last August when he took on Israel Madrimov, okay? And he beat Israel Madrimov, unanimous decision, to become a 4-division champion. But as you see here in this photo, there's not a big size difference. And actually, obviously, we know Terence Crawford stands at 5'8", got a 74-inch arm reach. Canelo stands at 5'7" with a 70-inch arm reach. There's not a massive size difference at all whatsoever. Now, clearly, as you see, Terence Crawford clearly has on what looks like Balenciaga shoes, and we know they are extremely big shoes, and they make you slightly taller. And Canelo Alvarez has on flats. The thing here is, the more important thing is, not if Terence Crawford can take Canelo Alvarez's punches. It's not if Terence Crawford, is going to get bullied around the ring. The concern with the weight is how Terence Crawford carries it himself. Does he start to fatigue in the second half of the fight? Should he get to the second half of the fight?
Timothy Bradley Jr., respected for both his championship career and keen analysis, has shared a clear vision of how Terence Crawford should face Canelo Alvarez. In Bradley's view, Crawford's best chance lies in taking control early. He noted that Canelo is a fighter who grows stronger as the rounds progress, gradually finding rhythm and command. This means the longer the fight stretches, the more perilous it becomes for Crawford. Bradley emphasized that Crawford has the speed, precision, and ring IQ to disrupt Canelo's momentum if he applies pressure from the start. By taking risks early and denying Canelo control of the pace, Crawford could catch the Mexican star off guard and seize command. Bradley also warned that the extra weight Crawford carries could sap his energy in later rounds, making energy conservation for the endgame an unrealistic plan. Instead, he urged Crawford to trust his explosive instincts and sharp reflexes to try to conclude the fight before fatigue sets in. In Bradley's eyes, the safest and smartest approach is for Crawford to assert himself immediately and finish Canelo before the battle drifts into deeper waters.
Yeah, he can move a little bit, but yeah, he likes to come forward with that power. But you put him on his back foot. Let me tell you similar too. Remember, you know this guy named Usyk who put Fury on his back foot? Yeah, push the pace on him. Yeah, with volume, feints. Put Canelo on his back foot, Crawford. That's what you gotta do. You gotta put him on his back foot. Hell to the damn yeah. That's how you get it done, man. That's one aspect that you're gonna have to do. And hey, I would advise you to do it as early as damn possible. Do it as early as possible, because guess what? If you do that, you're gonna get control right away of the judges, right? They're gonna be looking at you. You're gonna dictate the pace. You're gonna dictate the flow of the fight. You gotta have him react to you, not you reacting to him. That's how you gain control of the fight real quick, real soon. Get active with that jab. You don't necessarily have to come out in a southpaw stance. You can come out in the orthodox stance. You know, what's the punch that always hits Canelo all the time? Easy work, the jab. Triple G was able to land his jab over and over. Floyd Mayweather was able to land his jab over and over. Bivol was able to land his jab over and over. You control him, you push him back, you walk forward. Anytime Canelo give you an inch going back, you take that inch going forward. That's how you gonna get this done. You gonna have to be brave, my man Crawford. You gonna have to be brave. You gonna have to be on your P's and Q's when you walking forward as well, because he will snap back. He will snap back with them left hooks, right hands to the body, or looping right hands over the top, or even straight right hands. Sometimes he might even come with a two-piece combination. But you got to put him on his back foot as often as possible, man. With your how cerebral you are, with your feints, with your movement, snapping that jab.
Terence Crawford's sparring partner, Al Stanton, has given an insider's view that contrasts with some of the circulating concerns. Stanton observed that Crawford's strength and training has been nothing short of impressive. He portrayed Crawford as powerful, precise, and able to hold his ground against physically bigger opponents. According to him, Crawford doesn't appear to be struggling with a new weight and has adapted smoothly to the challenges of heavier fighters. Hearing this from someone who has shared rounds with Crawford reassures fans worried he might falter. Stanton's comments suggest that Crawford's natural athleticism and relentless work ethic are allowing him to meet the challenge head-on without losing the essence of who he is as a fighter.
He's very good at kind of holding fighters, putting his weight on them. You're a big boy for 168, Al, so how did he manage and cope with that when you kind of picture Canelo doing that to him?
Nah, he's strong. That man is strong. He's strong. So I don't think he'll have a problem, you know what I'm saying, with that.
What do you think, from your takeaways from that sparring, is the key for Terence to defeat Canelo Alvarez?
Just use his skills. I think he has the better skills, and I'd say just box him, you know what I mean? Just box him the whole night.
Given your experiences with him, and as you mentioned, you know, he's strong in those sparring sessions, do you have no doubts then that when he's in there at 168, he'll feel fully fledged and capable of performing for those 12 rounds?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. For 37 years old, like, he's training like he's like 25. Like, I don't think there'll be no problem at all with the fight.
What do you think he has to be mindful of that Canelo can produce? What do you think he has to be wary of in that fight?
Power. That's it. Just power.
Former welterweight champion Sean Porter has also offered his insight, focusing on how Crawford has managed his increase in weight. Porter explained that Crawford hasn't rushed the process, but has added pounds gradually and strategically. He noted that Crawford first gained about 10 pounds, then another 10, allowing his body time to adjust at every stage. This careful method, Porter emphasized, is the smart way to handle weight transitions, avoiding unnecessary stress on the body. Porter observed that Crawford carries the extra weight evenly, so his speed and mobility remain intact. For a fighter whose style depends on precision and agility, this kind of balance is crucial when facing someone as experienced as Canelo.
The thing a fighter can do when he's trying to gain 10 pounds to fight at another weight class is hit the weights, up your protein and things of that nature. I saw the man eat. The man is eating brilliantly. You know, he's doing it all right. And that's what I meant when I said, you know, when he decided to take on this challenge and Canelo Alvarez, it takes a good 2 years to successfully put on 10 pounds, along with successfully putting on 10 pounds to get your body to acclimate to that weight, right? So when people talk about him being out of the ring for 13 months, they really have to also accept they have to understand that he's been working and training for everything that he needs to do on fight night against Canelo Alvarez.
So you saw him in camp as he was building and putting that weight on, and you said that you think he's doing it right. From what you saw then from training, do you think he's carrying the weight well then?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I saw it in his legs. I could see it in his arms and his shoulders. And it's distributed evenly. you'll get a lot of guys who are bottom heavy. You know, they don't have much on the top half. So once you get to the inside, they don't have a lot that they can do with you from this standpoint. I know a lot of people are concerned with Canelo Alvarez. Should he get in close? What's the strength situation going to be like? Well, Crawford's put on the right muscle mass in the chest area, in the ab region, and in the arms and things of that nature. I think he's going to be able to handle the strength just fine.
That's a wrap for today's video. Stay tuned. Until next.